Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Cheyenne, and this is a new service that I'm doing. So this is going to be the 12 zodiac signs. I will be releasing 3 a week for each month. So for the month of February, this is the reading for Gemini. So you can check out Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. I'm a Gemini rising in tropical, so so I'm just getting a couple crystal decks. This is my crystal reading cards from Rachel Chairman. So we'll start off with a couple of these. Oops. Okay, we'll do this one and put these back because a ton flew out. And we'll get one more. And I did shuffle them off screen as well, so they're fully... Okay, well, 2 wanted to come out, so we're just going to take them. So we have Pray Night Chest, which I love that card. I don't know why. It reminds me of a jelly bean. That's why. I don't know what jelly bean, but it reminds me of like the multicolored jelly beans. I'm clearly hungry. Libyan Gold Tektite Manifestation, which Taurus just got that, so there may be something in the Taurus video for you as well. Ruby Shine, we love that. Nomite Healer, this was in the Aries reading. And then we have Coprite Rites of Passage. This is the last one that wanted to come out. So trusting that your manifestations are going to come to fruition. There's this time, this period that when we manifest something, we kind of almost go into hiding when it doesn't happen when we want it to. It's kind of like, okay, universe, I want this. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, it's already been 3 days and I still haven't gotten it yet. Oh my gosh, like... And it's like we just kind of cave in. And that's what the ruby is asking us to do, is like, no, keep shining. Keep fucking shining. Like, it doesn't matter if the manifestation has happened yet or not, because it will, because the universe always gives us what we ask for, as long as it is in alignment with our highest and best good. And if it isn't, we just tweak it, or the universe tweaks it for us. So easily we get it either way, just sometimes in a different package than we were expecting it to be revealed to us in. So it's asking you to shine through that. Like, don't cave in. Just trust that the universe is always on your side. Trust that the universe is always here to give you exactly what you're asking for. The universe has heard your prayers. The universe has heard you begging and pleading. It's heard your spell work. It's heard your, your, what's the word? It's heard your affirmations. Like, the universe is always going to bring it to you. It's just shining and making sure that you're still continuing to shine your light through that period of, I haven't gotten it yet, but I know it's coming. And it's having that confidence that it hasn't happened yet, but I know it's on its way to me. It always is. And in this time period, while we're waiting for these manifestations to happen, we have to be tapping into our innate abilities of being a healer. I know this isn't how you say it, but I was just thinking innate, pneumate. Obviously, that's not how you actually say the name, but it just like quick dyslexia. But it's tapping into that open channel to become a healer. Geminis, we heal through our words. We heal through speaking and being vocal about what it is. And through this healing is where we endure our rites of passage. It's through healing others that we get what we ask for, because now we're seeing it reflected to us. So Gemini energy is this like 8, this circle of 8. You need to be connecting with others in order to really like, oh my gosh, I needed that information too. And it's like this kind of like the in-between moment of an 8, that intersection point is really when a Gemini comes into awareness about what is happening to them in their own personal lives. So as a Gem rising, I've definitely experienced this, like either within friendships that I'm talking and we're just going back and forth, like the circle 8 motion. And then there's just this intersection of awareness that happens. And it's so magical that it's like, holy shit, this is exactly what I've been going through. Or this is exactly what that means. And it's just such a beautiful thing to come into awareness about. And that's when we experience the rites of passage, because we have to be connecting with others to get that experience, especially as a Gemini. Excuse me. So it's just connecting with others in that fashion, connecting with like-minded individuals, connecting and healing through your natural abilities, shining. Okay, now I'm understanding the connection. Shining your natural abilities to heal through your magical words. That is going to lead to your rites of passage. That's what it is. I was like, they were two separate things, and then the shine just interconnected them, like that section point of the 8, like I was just talking about. So literally, the way Spirit was explaining it to me, don't mind my raggedy ass nails, but I have to show them to you in 2. It was these ones at first, and then these ones. And then in the middle, oops, I totally made them backwards. In the middle was lying this card, Ruby, Shine. And then, like I said, this 8 motion, I'm like not at the camera. And then that intersection point, which is this card, literally connected the whole 2 parts. Just like I was explaining, that's how Geminis experience life, is that connected point. And that is the rite of passage, is literally that connection point, the intersection. Okay, we'll do these cards. I was like, I've been using 3 decks for each reading thus far, and I was like, okay, what other deck am I supposed to use? Because each deck they're telling me to use is really like pertaining to what's being said in that reading. So it's been a different deck each one. This is my Cosmic Reading cards by Nari and Astarcia. Sorry, I don't have everybody's names memorized in my decks, which isn't the best, but okay, so we'll just get a couple cards from this deck. But wow, it's literally, like I said, that intersection point. It's beautiful. It's so, so beautiful. Okay, can we get one more for Gemini, please? Oh, 2 more again. Wow, you guys are just going at it, huh? Okay, so the first card we have, Awaken. This is literally the rites of passage. Awakening to your innate ability to heal. Awakening to who you truly are. And even here, you see this kind of like thing. It's kind of like this intersection point. Imagine this part being as big as that part. It's that intersection point that is going to come into your awareness. Then we have Be Still. So Geminis can be very fidgety, very like, oh my God, I always need to be doing something with my hands. So it's about calming the fuck down, because Geminis are very overactive and their minds are always moving a million miles a minute. You have to be still. And I'm pretty lucky to have so much Capricorn in my chart that I know how to be still. But my mind has always been pretty overactive as a Gem rising. So being still to understand what is being processed, you know, in this intersection point of that 8 sign being made and created with external experiences of people, places, or things, but typically people, because that's who we're interacting with, right? You have to be still and listen and actually process what they're saying. So when you're processing what they're saying and being still within that moment, that's when the awareness is going to come to you. That's when illumination is going to come to whatever is being talked about. And those are those moments that are like, oh my gosh, wow, I didn't realize I had this much healing work to do. Or wow, I didn't realize the connection right there. Or wow, I didn't, and so on and so forth, obviously. So then we have Walk Your Truth. And I just love that, the hand in the universe. Like, oh, it just reminds me of like the like touching that everybody does in like the car windows. Once again, this comes back to shine. Trusting that your manifestations will come, and within that, you have to shine and walk in your truth. You have to be who you are, who you've always been meant to be. You have to be the innate healer that you are. You have to really step into that power and understand who you are as a person, and understand the power of your conversation and your words, and just walk in that truth. Walk in that inner innate knowing of, my words heal, and I cannot keep my words in. So I just remembered that Geminis rule hands. So that's another reason that this hand is here, because Geminis rule hands. So Maybe in meditations, doing mudras might help you channel energy, help you be still. Because Geminis do talk a lot with their hands, so maybe doing mudras might help you calm down and center yourself so you can be still for this awareness to come into you, come into your conscious mind. And then we have worlds within worlds. Same kind of thing. It's the fact of this innate ability, this innate gift. You have lived everything and you are everything. And that's what this rite of passage is. It's the understanding of your true connection to the universe. As you see, this hand is like the universe's hand reaching out to you. The worlds within worlds is, the world is within you. The universe is inside of you. And you are inside the universe. It's literally this just, once again, figure 8 going on consistently. And it never stops because the worlds are within worlds. So you can look at this part as the outside of the 8, this world as the outside of the 8, and then within being that intersection point again. Literally, it's that same thing that we've been talking about, that 8 and that intersected point of connecting. And that's so gorgeous. And then we also have shadow self. So some of you Geminis this February might be doing some shadow work, and that's kind of ties back into the worlds within worlds, because that's our subconscious mind. That is who we are on the inside that hasn't been heard, hasn't had a voice, hasn't really had time to express their needs and wants. And maybe your healer, your inner healer, is really just to connect with your own inner shadow self. And the shadow self journey is a rite of passage within itself. So it's just helping others heal. And what I'm really sensing is like, you're going to be having conversations with people and you're going to realize like how dark their own trials or tribulations may be. And then you're able to relate it back to self. Like as you're giving them advice, like, oh yeah, you know, da, 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 and you're like, holy shit, I needed that advice too. And that can be its own awareness in itself, because always we have a shadow self, which is like the lower self, the lower nature, and then the higher self. And the whole point is we're the intersection. Our actual being that exists in this dimension is our intersected point of that 8. Because as above, so below, as within, so without. And this rite of passage is understanding the connection between the two. It's understanding the connection between the two by being your true self, experiencing and communicating with other people to relate it back to self, because we always need an external mirror to understand self. You know, we can only do so much self-evaluation. We need others to truly evaluate ourselves and like, oh, okay, I still need a little help on this, still need a little help on that, and so on and so forth. And this is a pretty deep reading too, same with the Aries reading that got pretty fucking deep. You know, nonetheless, I enjoy readings like this because this is where it gets really fun. But yeah, if it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate. So don't be like, yeah. If it doesn't resonate, then obviously feel free to check another video for the zodiacs. Because like I said, you can apply it to sun, moon, rising, and Venus sign. But, and you can also apply it to tropical or sidereal. But also, within that same breath, we all are, okay, worlds within worlds, here we go. We all are the zodiac signs. If we're thinking about the natal chart and how they all have 12 signs, we're all a little bit a part of it. You know, some more than others, but, you know, wherever you have the most planets in, maybe that's the house you'll look at. So if you have like a shit ton of Capricorn energy in the 8th house like I do, maybe you should be watching the Capricorn video. So just take it as it resonates, and if it doesn't, don't try to fit and mold yourself into it, is my point. So first card, we have Page of Swords. Not surprised at all, because Page of Swords is the youngest of the communication suit. We're not going to take all those because that was stupid. More for Gemini, please. Of course, that one came out. Okay. Are we taking all these? You guys just want a lot of cards today, apparently. Okay, Gemini. So Page of Swords. The young communicator. Gemini energy. This is you guys. You guys are the young ones trying to take your journey in life. Step up to the plate of who you're meant to be. Five of Pentacles. But it's really easy for a Gemini to feel left out in the cold. It's really easy for you guys to feel unincluded in a lot of things because you guys are so communicative. And it's really hard for you guys to feel included when you communicate on such a different level. Like I said, you communicate having somebody mirror you and serve as a mirror. And then that's when your epiphanies come, but you can relate it back to self. Other people don't really have that gift. And I mean, everybody can have that gift. I don't want to say it like, oh, if you're not a Gemini, you can't have this gift. But it also is very much so. Other people can't tap into it as quickly as Gemini energy can. So it makes you feel left out because you communicate on such a different level. You guys are just so mercurial that it's very hard for other people to keep up with, making you feel, what's the word I'm looking for? Misunderstood. Three of Pentacles, but there's this want for community. There is this want for community when it comes to Gemini energy because that's what we're all here to experience. We are here to experience community sensibility. We're here to experience relationships with other people, family, friends, coworkers, lovers, whatever this is for you. And to do that and have that community, you do have to be yourself. You won't ever be accepted into community trying to play somebody else, trying to be something that you're not, because you guys are the Magician. And this is Gemini energy. That's why I wasn't surprised to see this card. This is that self-mastery. So once you're at the Page of Swords energy, coming into this mastery of the Magician energy is learning how to use everything that you've got to be included and self-sufficient in life in general. You can be included in anything because you are everything. Oh, isn't that fucking beautiful? You can be included. You can be included in everything because you are everything. That is a line. If I ever heard one, that is a line. You are included in everything because you are everything. That's beautiful. And that's when Geminis are really on a level of self-mastery, is when you understand, I have everything I need to be around anybody I need to be around. And that's the gorgeous thing about Gemini energy too. You guys get along with everybody. It's just whether you feel at home with them or not. And that's a completely different story. But then we have the Nine of Pentacles. This is you guys not really caring if you're included by everybody because you're good on your own. That is a level of self-mastery that most cannot attain. You know, if you're a true Gemini, you're good by yourself typically. Geminis don't really need anybody to feel motivated or do the things that they need to get done. Yes, it helps, of course. But Geminis are just kind of like free to do their own thing, free to be who they are. And they're accepted by and loved by everybody because it's easy, because you can just wave of the hands, blend in with whatever energy you need to. And then we have Temperance. This is Sagittarius energy. So, you know, this could be Sagittarius energy in your chart, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. And this is learning how to balance all those traits, balancing out all of those gifts. Because you have, oh, so many Gemini. You have so many gifts. It's like, which one do we want to choose today? And that's such beautiful energy for the Geminis. Like, just being able to be anything. It's really true chameleon energy. It's really, you can be any and everything all at once. It's finding that balance of, you know, what do you want? And you can want anything. You can want to be all of those things in one day. It's just finding that perfect balance of how to execute and bring forth all of those energies harmoniously at one time. And then we have the Seven of Cups. Like I said, this is all of your different personality traits, Gemini. This is you being every element that there is to be in existence and combining all of them. Yes, this card typically can be illusions and things in that nature, but in this reading, it's really about your different emotional states that you can tap into. And that's gorgeous. You can be grounded when you need to be. You can be fiery when you need to be. You can be emotional. You can be magical. You can be light as a feather. You can just be all of these energies all at once, simultaneously. And that's really what the message is here. You don't have to pick and choose. You don't like have to choose one element each day. You don't have to choose to just embody that at that moment. You can drink from every cup, or you can choose one. You know, it's your choice. You can drink from 2 cups. You can drink from all of them. You can, you know, whatever you want. Because that's the glory about Gemini energy, is you are so just dualistic and transcendent in nature. And there's just this androgynous energy that you can be whatever the fuck you want. You don't have to be defined by any rule book. Do you think the magician is sitting here following a rule book? Do you think Harry Houdini followed a rule book? I mean, and maybe they did follow rule books or created them. Who knows? I clearly didn't do my research on that, but it sounded good. So, but yeah, it's just using your innate ability to shine. And that's really going to be your rite of passage, is intertwining your shadow self, intertwining those worlds within worlds to be whoever it is you are. You don't have to just wear one mask. You can wear all the masks. You can take a little bit from any mask. You can take all of them and just be who you are. You can take it off and be who you are. And at the same time, it's still just going to be you. Because I imagine all these energies as a mask. You know, if it's not naturally, which we all, it's stupid to say because we all have these energies. Every single one of us. It's just, which one do you want to embody more of that day? And sometimes we do need to be a little softer or gentler. And sometimes we do need to be a little bit more self-disciplined and determined. It's just figuring out what you need at that time and how to balance that out is really what it is. Oh, you guys, this was a deep reading. But I loved it so, so much. So I hope all of my fellow Geminis have a gorgeous, gorgeous February. I am available for personal tarot and oracle readings. 15 minutes is 11:11, half hours are 22:22, and hours are 33:33. Also, I do distance Reiki sessions, same prices as I just listed. And for all first-time tarot clients, I do give free 15-minute distance Reiki sessions. Also, my prices will be going up come Aries season, so be sure to book with me beforehand. And yeah, I hope the Geminis have a lovely, lovely February, and I will see you guys in March. Bye.